Welcome, everyone. My name is Bobby Smith. I am the field president for Powur, the fastest growing solar company in the United States, if not the world. We have two special speakers here tonight, Lenny Fairfield and Michael Miller, gentlemen who I've come to know and have a great deal of respect for their leadership, building just building power in the Carolinas. So we're very excited to have them be on board. Just a few moments here before we get going, folks. If you're a guest here tonight, again, there is no debate about what's happening in renewable energy, right? All of us know it's the fastest growing and perhaps the most important industry in the world. Our entire planet is under a red alert from the entire scientific community, and we just need to do better. A month ago, there was $650 million invested in 1 week, almost in a circle around our company. We just paid out our $100th millionth in commissions just recently. So please understand as you tune in tonight as a guest, there's no debate about certain things. And one is renewable energy and the investment dollars that are pouring in there. And certainly there's no debate about our company. Inc. magazine recently voted us the fastest growing solar company in the United States of America, again, if not the world. So if out of 32 million companies, you're number 61, then you're doing something right? There is a big difference between, hey, I've got a good idea, and hey, we're the fastest growing solar company in the United States of America. There's also no debate about one other thing, that the world has shifted to a platform economy. If you draw a circle around your life and you look at today's transportation and finance and retail and travel, you look at now the companies like Airbnb and Uber and EXP and real estate, you look at Amazon and Peloton and crypto. So the reason that Powur is the fastest growing solar company in the world is because we built the only true platform for not only solar, but for renewable energy on this planet. And after 7 years, and right now, currently, over 5,000 representatives in our company, working with all the biggest solar companies in the United States, offering products that no one has, offering financing that no one has, offering warranties that no one has. So again, as a public benefit corporation, our goal first and foremost is that the customer gets the best value that they can get and that our planet moves forward towards renewable energy. Okay, so with that, I want to turn this over to our first speaker, Mr. Michael Miller. You know, Michael can share a moment about his story, but I think his greatest story is looking back because he saw Powur a while ago, passed on it, didn't realize he'd be making 3 times as much money for the same efforts plus stock options. And Michael, along with Lenny, has been leading our efforts in the Carolinas. I've had a chance to spend some time with them. And please note, these are as good of human beings as they are solar professionals. I know what they stand for. Michael's got a big family, and I know what he wants in his life, and I know what he wants for his family's life. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Michael. And Michael, you have the ball.
Hey, thank you so much, Bobby. Good evening, everyone. Welcome here. Want to give a shout out to Nick and Justin and everyone who brought guests. It's good to see you, and I look forward to talking to you later after this call. So my name is Michael Miller, and we have my esteemed colleague, Lenny, and together we are the leaders of North and South Carolina for Powur. We are truly pioneering this new market, and we're having a great time. So now I want to turn it over to Lenny, who's going to let you know what we're going to do tonight.
Yes. Can you imagine, Michael, that I remember over a year ago when I first saw these Monday night, power hours and just seeing all the leaders on board. And now here I am, I'm like hosting one. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, it's great. And I think like you and I have talked earlier, my biggest regret was not signing up sooner. I first discovered Powur in 2019 and I kicked myself. But you know, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now.
Yep, exactly. So I appreciate everybody coming tonight. I am humbled and amazed that Michael and I are getting to host this tonight. And it's exciting for not only us, but all the people that are out here in North and South Carolina and all up and down the East Coast, because, you know, we are the new guys on the scene, if you will. And this is a blast. This market is exploding. We've heard recently that North Carolina especially has been taking off. Virginia, we've heard about, in South Carolina, we've heard a lot about lately. So it's awesome. My name's Lenny Fairfield. I've been with Powur for about 2 years now. I've been in solar for about 3. Prior to that, I was an investment manager, helping people, a private investment manager, helping people prepare for retirement, save money for retirement, and invest and managing their portfolios, which is why I transferred when I was successful in that business and sold it. Kind of solar, something I'm passionate about, actually fit my skill set very well, because now I'm helping people save money as they go into the retirement in the future by reducing their expenses. So it was a good fit for me. I'm passionate not from the environmental side, but from the financial side. I know those people who have $200 power bills now, their power bill is probably going to be $400 10 to 15 years from now with rate increases. So, that's a little bit about me and what makes me passionate about this. Michael, how about you?
So my name is Michael Miller. I've been in the solar industry since 2013 as a business owner. I was a part owner of a fulfillment company until 2017 when I got bought out. All that to say, I know how hard it is to run my own installation and sales organization, even with engineers on staff. We bled through about $150,000 in our first 6 months. So it was a wild ride. I was so happy to find the Powur platform. It is so much better in every way. Words cannot describe how much easier it is with Powur, handling all the back office, the payroll, the things that I didn't like to do, didn't want to do, the things I wasn't really good at. So now that I'm on the Powur platform, it's a great time. I've been able to build an organization of over 100 sales reps, mostly the recruiting part-time, selling full-time. I've been with Powur just about a year. So I've got 4 small kids. I'm married and I have other obligations, church and some charity charity work that I do. So no excuses. Anyone can do this. And even with a big family, even with other commitments. And I'm happy now. My greatest accomplishment with Powur has been I'm now part of the Executive Leadership Advisory Council, something or other. I'm probably saying that name wrong, but that's such an honor to be ranked among the top 5 recruiters in the entire company.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's cool. So as far as tonight, first of all, some things we love about Powur. We're going to talk about, one of the things that I love about Powur is the transparency, cost of goods model, which we're going to get into. But recently they've hired a lot of powerful players have come to the Powur platform. Cami, our chief of marketing, Ethan, I believe he's VP of operations. What's the name? Help me out here. Paul
Wanowski. Yeah.
Paul Wanowski. Yes.
The board.
On the board of directors. There's just some big names that have come to Powur that have really given us a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Would be a good word there.
I mean, it's immense credibility. Anybody that's been involved in the solar industry for years, you'll know these names. You've seen these people at solar events. So Powur is really investing heavily into the back end, not just into marketing. Most solar companies, no matter how big or small, it's usually an internet company. The faces, what you see, that's all you get.
Well, I will say, since we've hired Cami and the entire marketing department, have you noticed how much our marketing has exploded?
Yeah, it's
We're
wonderful.
really.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really gone places. So what we're going to cover tonight, we're going to talk about Powur and who we are, what makes us different. Basically, our model is the only model in the industry that is like it is. I mean, it's literally a technology model or a platform model. The solutions that we're going to provide, not just to individuals, individual sellers, if you will, solar pros, but we're also going to get a little bit into how it helps organizations, potentially small solar companies, roofing companies with our enterprise product that we just rolled out. And then at the end, we're going to talk about how, to get back to the person who brought you to this meeting and hopefully be able to give you enough information to make an educated and decision on what you're going to do with Powur going forward, Michael.
Yeah, we want you to make an informed decision. That's what I did. I did my research, and I think you'll agree after doing your research that Powur is the best company out there with the best prices, the best reputation, and the best training and support. And that's what matters most.
Yeah, exactly.
From the beginning, Powur has always been about how do we solve the biggest challenges facing our planet, and how do we help people create a rewarding, abundant, meaningful income and livelihood through participating. And the reason why that's at the heart of our company is because that's what I needed. That's what I was searching for.
Have fun, my friends. We'll see ya.
I get a call from Jim Bunch, and he says, hey, I'm going to the Amazon rainforest with the Pachamama Alliance. I think you should come down here with us. And I'm just like, you know, sure, I'll just up and go to the Amazon rainforest next week. You know, not many people are gonna say yes to that invitation, but I felt that I had to be there. I knew I was at a turning point in my life. I was looking for something more.
We are trudging through the rainforest right now. We have two guides, Ashwar guides, who are completely native. Their culture has been living in this forest for thousands of years. They just made contact with the outside world only to really form an alliance to protect this rainforest from oil companies and mining companies and companies that literally will come in and just turn all of this into a desert.
There they are. Keep your wings down there.
But it was during one of the initiations that I had the vision for Powur.
The journey continues, my friends, continues.
In the middle of the Amazon, there's drumming and singing and chanting and all this going on, and I hear this voice say, you are meant to go back and start the first crowdsourcing platform for solar energy. It was clear as day, and that's when I knew. I knew what my life purpose was. From that point forward, I knew what I had to do. It was a vision that literally came from that forest.
Being in the rainforest, there are many lessons that Jonathan and I got down there that we brought back to the company. And I remember for myself, one of the things that was crystal clear was how connected everything is. And what we do makes a huge impact. When you hire and you recruit and you train and deploy people based on what they value most, you create a synergy that's incredible. When you align those values with a clear mission and a clear vision, you create synergy.
The vision of Powur is to accelerate the adoption of sustainable energy worldwide. Our mission, and I want you to take this in, because when you join us, this is going to become your mission too, and I want it to be real for you, and I want you to be excited about it. Our mission is to build the largest clean energy platform on planet Earth. And the way that we're going to do that is through decentralization. It's not about having one giant utility or one giant company anymore. It's really about creating platforms that empower the crowd to participate in everything. And the way that we're going to install millions of solar panels on homes every year as one community, as one company, as one platform, is through a crowdsourced model. If we build a platform that allows the crowd to do it, that allows the entire ecosystem of solar to participate, then we can reach the kind of scale that at Powur we dream about, that we're focused on, and that we are going to achieve. And this is your invitation to join us.
So Buckminster Fuller, a legend in the renewable energy industry and a pioneer, said, to change things, don't try to fight the existing reality. Build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. And that's really is the heart of what Powur is doing with their platform.
It really is the heart of what we are. And probably the biggest part of that is our economic model, you know, especially those of you who are in the solar industry already. You're about to see what the economic model of Powur is all about, and it's going to look like nothing you've seen before. So I'm going to go ahead and get to that at this point.
When we started Powur, we were looking at all of the ways that we could really help solve the challenges inside of solar. And it became super clear to us really quickly that the challenge that needs to be solved in solar energy today is customer acquisition. We've got the technologies. We have all the tools. We have the workforce. We could be installing as much solar energy as you can imagine right now. What's missing is the customer adoption. It's the societal adoption. And that's why we built the first model in the world to pay the people who solve the biggest challenge in solar the most, and that's you.
Your decision to be part of the future of solar and renewable energy really comes down to a choice of two pathways: an outdated get a job work for a company model where you go to work for a solar company. Maybe you might even receive some leads that are often sold to multiple companies. The commissions are often equivalent to solar minimum wage. There is little chance for personal or professional growth, and there are often geographical boundaries. There's nothing scalable about the technology and nothing to secure your personal or economic future. It's a job, plain and simple. That simply doesn't work or make sense in today's world, not in the new and thriving platform economy of today.
We live in the age of platforms. Uber did not become the largest ride-sharing company on earth because they went out and they bought, millions of taxis and hired millions of drivers. They created a platform that allowed anyone to share a ride with anyone else through their app, and they crowdsourced it. Real estate, the old way was you walk into Prudential, there's an agent there paying $500 a month for their desk or whatever it is, and that's how real estate was done, right? The new way is EXP. It's a totally virtual brokerage platform that allows any real estate agent to sign up and offer real estate anywhere in the world that EXP operates in with the biggest commissions, and they became the fastest growing real estate company in the world. Let's look at the old way of doing solar and the new way of doing solar with the Powur model. The old way was you went to work for a solar company. So you basically had a job or you worked for a dealer somewhere and you earn money in one way and one way only when you sell. And fundamentally, you are a local or regional construction company of some kind. That's the old way. Now let's look at the Powur way. We have a cloud-based virtual platform that allows you to work from anywhere and sell solar to anywhere as long as you have access to your iPhone, right? You get 4 different methods for earning. You have the biggest commissions in the industry instead of the littlest because the majority of revenue gets shared with you through this platform-based model. You have 3 other ways to earn: passive, mentorship, and equity. You have a scalable technology platform so everything's under one roof, and we're decentralizing and crowdsourcing the fulfillment and the customer acquisition so we don't have the barriers to scale that the predecessors had in the past.
If you're looking at solar, you may not be aware of how incredible this opportunity is. There are 130 million homes that are plugged into what we know as the dirty energy grid. 90 million of those homes are eligible for solar, and at this point, a little over 3.5 million have actually made the transition to solar. So you're looking at a virtually untapped industry as we know it today. So let's talk about what's happening in the industry itself. What's driving it is the homeowner can go solar with absolutely nothing out of pocket, 0 out of pocket. They increase the value of their home by 4 to 6%. And they are going to lock in the cost of their energy, so they never have to worry about the rising cost of energy again from the energy that we're producing from their panels. There has never been a product or service in my career that I could say does that much good, creates so much impact, and makes you great income at the same time. And how we make income is by having access to something called cost of goods.
So if you are a solar sales professional at literally any other solar company in the world except for Powur, this is how it works for you. You get a price to go sell solar at, call it your red line. And your company might say, okay, this is your price and anything you sell over here, you get to keep. And then the company, you don't have any idea what their margins are, by the way, but the company gets to keep everything underneath that price, and you get to keep whatever is over that price. And that's how every single solar company in the world works, except for Powur. Powur is the only company in the world that offers a transparent cost of goods business model. What this means is that we give you, as a selling price, the actual cost of goods to install that system. Whatever it costs, we look at the labor, we look at the construction, we look at the equipment, we look at the permit fees, just the fixed cost of goods to install that system. That is your selling price. So when you sell a project with Powur, you get the cost of goods as your selling price, and then whatever the profit is, you keep 70% and Powur keeps 30%.
You compare that to the traditional company who would pay $2,000 to $3,000, Powur pays over $7,000 on average, and that is over double what most traditional companies pay. You can sell in all of the states in which we have coverage, and all of that is managed for you through the back office in Powur. They also handle the accounting, all of the operations, everything that's necessary, and then pay you for every single deal, every single day.
My team provides all the support you need to present your solar proposals and get your documents signed easier than any other solution in the industry. The Powur solution makes it so simple to get a proposal. Within minutes of entering a lead into our system, you have a dynamic proposal back all under one platform. The proposal allows you to control how many panels go on your customer's home, change equipment, control their energy offset, adjust your commission, margin, any adders required for the job. Plus, you get to qualify all of your customers for financing and issue them final loan docs to sign within minutes. You have a dedicated sales support team to assist you in signing every customer, and once your customers are signed, you have a dedicated project manager to assist you and your customer along every step of the way, all the way to installation. I've worked at so many of the biggest solar companies in the industry for the past decade, and I swear I've never seen a platform like Powur where it's easy to sell, you get paid as much as you do, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
This is your chance to join the most disruptive platform that has entered into the solar industry in over a decade and really participate and reap the rewards. Join us. This is the time.
Okay, 4 types of income. Okay, so number one is just selling. Your number one way to make money is selling solar, just like you've done possibly somewhere else for solar or something else. We believe the seller is the most critical part of the equation. Everybody's very important, but to the lion goes the lion's share. 70% will go to you directly. 30% will be split in half. 15% goes to the company, and the other 15% goes to your leadership team, your mentors, and the people who helped bring you on the platform.
Yeah, so
Very
I mean,
straightforward.
we're going to get into that a lot more in a minute, but in case you missed what Michael said, is we really don't have a 70-30 split. We really have an 85-15 split, because Powur does take half of what they receive and they pay it out as revenue sharing, which we're about to talk about. I do want to mention on cost of goods model, you know, what other company can you literally see every single cost of every single part of a project? If you're already in solar now, you know that you don't get that information. You don't know how much panels cost. You don't know how much of your project is, you know, inverters, and how much is, you know, construction costs. You don't know any of that stuff. It's very, again, going back to the original thing that I talked about, transparency is very important in this company, and that's what they're all about. The second way to earn income is through our mentoring program. So everyone who comes into Powur, once you get into the Powur system, we have you, if you're a solar pro, you do one project, at least one project with a mentor. If you're not a solar pro already, then you'll do at least 3 projects with a mentor. And what that means is that you're actually going to get paid while you learn. When I started in the industry, I went through a 2-week training program and had to shadow, what they called it, shadow other sales reps, where I followed them around to their appointments, and I didn't get paid anything. Just had to follow them around for 2 weeks with no pay. This is a unique opportunity that allows you to actually get paid while you're learning how to sell solar. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so here's an example. So let's say that, and again, Powur has to make a minimum of $1,500, but let's say the commission was $6,000. You're going to split that right down the middle. Even if you're brand new to the industry, you can start earning, we call it earn while you learn, right away. That makes sense. So net commission. And again, you'll see the expenses. You'll see what we pay for financing, for dealer fees, everything. It's all plain and transparent. Let's go.
That's $6,000, just to be clear, that would be a 70% portion of the overall margin on a project. I'm trying to do the math in my head, but it ain't going that fast. So somewhere between, you know, the margin on this project was to be somewhere between $9,000 and $10,000, which is about average on our platform all around. So with an average, this is just an example, $6,000 commission. The tier 1 seller, which is you as the seller, would be $3,000 of that, and the mentor would get the other $3,000 for helping you close that deal.
That's awesome.
Third way.
Okay, so third is revenue share. This is pretty awesome. And similar to any other corporation that might have a VP of sales, a director of sales, a regional sales manager, district area sales manager, assistant sales manager, whatever. All other sales organizations have that structure in place. With us, you don't need permission to be the sales manager. You don't need permission to build a team. There's no nepotism here. There's no favorites. When you're ready and you're able, you can start building a team, training, recruiting, referring people to the platform. Now, the good news is you don't have to babysit them. You're not their sales manager. You're just a helpful person. And remember, a teacher only has to be one lesson ahead of their student. So even on day 2, if you've passed your training and you're onboarded successfully, you should start telling everyone you know who might be a good fit for our team.
Yes, the difference between, a typical company, as you're saying, Michael, with all the managers and vice presidents and directors in place in that sales department, is that where's the lion's share of the commissions go? All the way to the top. The people with the Lamborghinis and the wonderful shoe collections. Those are the people that get all the reward at the end. With Powur, it keeps the rewards down in the field with the people who are actually in the trenches, in the arena, doing the battle, making things happen. So that's what I appreciate about this system.
A wise CEO once told me, if you work really hard and beat your goals from last year, then I too can have another Lamborghini.
Amen. Preach.
Not
brother.
me, him. And that's it.
So this is how it works.
That's exactly. No, go ahead. The breakdown of the 70-30.
Yeah, so
Really?
the 70-30, we talked about 70-30 earlier, how, the sellers get 70% of the overall margin on a project. Well, the 30% that goes to Powur, they actually split that in half, and 15% of that, or 50% of that, goes back into the field as revenue sharing. That's why I was talking about an 85-15% cut earlier. This is what it really looks like. If you add the 70 and the 15, it's 85%. So, Powur is in a place where they're actually so efficient and they're run so well and on such low overhead, they're able to operate on a 15% of the overall margin. That's phenomenal to me. And this is where it all comes together. This is the thing that makes Powur different than every other company out there. You're not going to see this at another company.
That's correct.
Yep.
All right, moving right along.
Yep. Fourth way.
So, and this is stock options, equity. So another thing that I have never seen at another solar company, and I know most of them, I have a lot of friends at other companies, you become shareholders, getting 25 for your first, 25 options. Let's go ahead and see the next, and let's just keep going through.
Yeah, well, so, when you bring somebody on board, you sponsor somebody on board to the company, when they close, they have their first install, you get 12 additional shares.
Well, it's options because you'd have to use the option.
Right.
You'd have to option it to get the share. Still have to pay for it.
Yep.
So very cool.
Yearly performance goals, and these are throughout your first 2 years that you're with the company. If you get 25 installs, you get an additional 25 options. If you get
250.
250 options. If you get to 50 installs, you get an extra 1,250 options. One thing I want to say about these options is they're actually options that you receive. I have heard of a company who speaks about the fact that the company or the employees of the company are going to receive options that they can then use when they go to an IPO, but it never on paper. I literally have a file at my house in a file cabinet that has options, stock options that I've been awarded that I can then use at some future date when the company goes IPO.
So a lot of people talk about this sort of thing, but we've got it. It's happening. It's done. It's in writing.
Yep. And I firmly believe, just my opinion, that probably in the next 2 years at some point, hopefully we'll get to an IPO and we'll see the benefits of that. Powur Solutions. We have we had a lot of solutions in place, a lot of things happening at Powur. I don't know about you, Michael, but the things that are happening at Powur even today, I didn't see that when I first started at Powur. For instance, what we're looking at here, it looks just like, maybe we're saying we have a Powur app, but it's more than an app, isn't it?
Yeah, so we got your virtual site survey tool on the Powur app. So a homeowner can download this. You as a rep can download it. You can use it with the homeowner. It's really great. It's easy to use, helps you get paid a lot faster. And just know that we are a technology company. We're not just a contractor. Almost every solar company I've seen is really just a contractor at heart. We are a technology company pouring heavily into software development that's going to make your life quicker and more profitable.
Yeah, this virtual site survey launch, which has been a couple months now, and we're almost to 100% basically of the company using this virtual site survey. It literally can cut a week to 2 weeks off your project, which means you're going to get paid quicker. The homeowner is going to get glass on the roof quicker. Everything's going to happen faster. So everything about Powur is not only being the best at what they do and having, you know, the good quality, but also being efficient. Everything we're about makes everything more efficient. You know, we're getting to in-house design now. A lot of the design process is coming in-house. All of that is going to speed up the process of getting the customer what they've actually requested. Training. This is something that you know, Powur has, just in the 2 years that I've been with Powur, it has gone up 10x as far as quality of training. And big shout out to Charles Thompson and everybody else who's been involved in that, because the training program has just evolved immensely.
Yeah, and I'll speak on this too. Once again, every sales company I've ever been a part of claims to have great training. It's usually not. It's usually incredibly disappointing. And I've worked as a management consultant for a lot of sales organizations over the years. So I've seen this in play. Powur easily the best training platform by a mile, by a country mile. So many training videos. It's well organized. It's thoughtful. We're constantly improving it. You're going to see more things, features rolling out in the future. We have real adult education specialists who know how to teach people, which is different than childcare teaching. Anyway, all that to say, it's an incredible training platform. You're going to have live training calls daily. You can chat. So there's no reason why you won't succeed, and you're never going to be held up for any reason to get the knowledge.
Yeah, not to mention we have our first in a couple years live convention coming up in Dallas in July, Powur World. So if you haven't got your tickets to that, or you don't know anything about it yet because you are just visiting tonight, get back to the person who invited you and ask them about Powur World as well. That's going to be a blast. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's right. And it is. We've spent over $1 million building a state-of-the-art digital training platform. And all this happened, interestingly, right around the same time of the COVID lockdown and everything shutting down. So we were really well positioned strategically to take full advantage of an economy that's shifting to more remote work, more virtual work, more work from home. And we are now, and I'm a guy who's done in-home selling most of my life, now doing most of my business on Zoom calls, and I love it. I'm saving a lot of gas money. A lot of time.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was with a company where I was actually still doing home visits during COVID. And now that I've transferred into the mindset of doing more of the virtual and the Zoom visits with customers, it's actually been a blessing. It really has, especially with gas prices as high as they are right now. This has been a game changer.
So good. Hey, there's an updated national footprint. Isn't this awesome? I think what's the count there? Wait, 20 states, 19? What number are you
22,
saying?
I think is last time I heard.
So we are a nationwide company, and this is great because working from home on Zoom calls, you can sell almost anywhere in the nation, and we're working very hard to open up new markets as we speak. So this is great. You probably have friends, family, neighbors, former coworkers, whatever, all around the country. They have a chance now. Somebody who lives in a rural community, middle of nowhere, doesn't have a lot of job opportunities. They can start a career with Powur in the middle of nowhere, Idaho, and be just as successful as someone in San Diego or Dallas, Texas.
Exactly. Yeah. And understand that Powur is expanding rapidly. So our goal by the end of the year is to be in over 30 states as the general contractor. But here's the thing. If your state is not on this map, that doesn't matter. If we can't make it clear enough that selling virtually is a thing that is working currently. Matter of fact, a lot of companies are moving to it. So if you don't see your map, don't necessarily probably, I'm not looking at the chat right now, but it's probably lighting up with when are you going to be in this state? When are you going to be in that state? Okay. A very wise man once told us, don't look at the donut, don't look at the hole, look at the donut. Okay. The donut is where we are now. Go, sign up to sell solar, learn how to do it and sell it where we are now. And when we get to where you want us to be, when it makes sense, we'll be there.
My name is Melissa Dawson. I travel around meeting people and selling solar and coaching people how to sell solar with Powur.
My name is Jonathan Bernasso, and I'm a full-time solar consultant.
My name is JC Rangel, and I am a sales consultant with Powur Energy.
My name is Charles Thompson. I am a field leader with Powur.
I'm Chris Chibangu. When I was exposed to what Powur did, I was just blown away.
Yo soy María Salazar. Hace 25 años llegué a este país, como llegamos la mayoría de las personas, buscando el famoso sueño americano.
My name is Edgardo Gonzalez. I'm from Puerto Rico. It's been a great journey, working full-time in the solar industry.
The reason I decided to join Powur is because I saw the online platform and the 4 unique ways of earning.
Powur's vastly different than any solar company in the industry. What Powur has done is they've changed the way this industry looks at the most important person in the company, the consultant, the person who's representing the company to the homeowner.
I knew nothing about solar when I got started, nothing. But that wasn't an excuse. So the company has all of the resources, all of the trainings available. And if somebody really wants to go out there and learn the business, they can. And I'm a perfect example of it.
Extreme powerful training in sales, powerful training in solar, and then powerful training in mindset. Sales is over 90% mindset.
At the beginning, we were referring people to Solar City. We were making around $200, $500 per deal. And can you imagine, right now we make an average of $7,000 to $9,000 per deal. You could be good, but it's the vehicle. And Powur is the best vehicle you can find in the solar industry to do this, to achieve this.
And what a service that we provide. We provide solar, renewable, contributing to the evolvement of the planet, contributing to, in terms of legacy, to our kids. And Powur is, we only still at the beginning.
I like to be a part of businesses that have a future. I believe that for the next 2 decades, renewable energy, the solar industry is the industry to be in. Not only that, to me, solar is not really a sales pitch. Frankly, it's more like an IQ test. We could take a customer and cut their bill in half with 0 out of pocket, and that bill will never go up. Why would you not do that?
Sino de que estamos cuidando nuestra ciudad, nuestro planeta y nuestras futuras generaciones. Yo siempre a mis clientes les digo, mira, no es tanto el ahorro que tú vas a tener en el momento, sino ayudar a nuestras futuras generaciones.
The parts that I love the most about what I do with Powur is I get the ability to help others. That begins with helping people who've never sold solar before learn how to sell solar and how to change their life. Then what we do is help homeowners take control of their energy bill, lock that cost of the energy in, save anywhere from 5 to 40% on their energy bill every single month.
The solar installation is probably the most rewarding part. The homeowner's excited, and at that moment when you flip the switch on, no longer are you having to rely on your utility company. You're creating your own power and taking control back from the utility.
For me, it's about making an impact. We're on this planet for a small amount of time, so we need to be doing something bigger and better to help humanity.
Powur gives me the freedom to spend more time with my family. Powur gives me the freedom to work from home.
What surprised me about working with Powur is the culture and family that we have, where we have friends and family and teammates and mentors. We're all helping each other with this model. That is just something that I really feel and I didn't expect to have.
Powur ha cambiado mi vida de una manera increíble. Una de las cosas muy importantes que aquí podemos tener libertad financiera.
I work on my own terms, and that's what you do when you're in Powur.
I'm just so grateful that Powur came into my life, and to know that I can take my power back to be me and to leave a legacy for this world that I did something good for it.
If you have been looking, stop looking. Make this your home and taste it for yourself. My mission is to help as many people as possible find that freedom. I'm honored to do it through the platform of Powur.
This is the movement. This is the culture. This is the company. We welcome you. Join us.
So Powur has a motto. It's financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom. And I am living proof. If anybody can do it, if I can do it, you can do it. We're getting 4 types of income. Our 70-30 split on revenue with sellers, our cost of goods business model, mentor income, where you're splitting deals with new reps all the time. Whoa, we lost you there. All right, cool. Revenue sharing, where you get to participate in sharing the revenue that the company generates through teams that you have built and helped build. And equity ownership, getting stock options before we go public, which is an incredible advantage.
Yeah. So what does it take to join the Powur platform? Obviously, we're going to encourage you, again, to get back to the person who either sent you this video or invited you to be here tonight. But in the end, here's how Powur works. There's a $99 one-time onboarding fee to get you on to the technology platform that is Powur. Allows you to have unlimited access to everything that Powur has to offer. And then there's a $49 per month technology fee. That gives you, just to give you an example of what it gives you, we do solar proposals for every customer. You know, those proposals, technically, normally they'd cost about $20, $25 a piece. And I don't know about you, Michael, but I probably do 30, 40, 50 a month, maybe.
So yeah, I mean, and quite frankly, we want you to have skin in the game. You're paying for your software as you would for any business, and Powur is going to generate an unlimited number of quality proposals for you at their expense, which is incredibly generous. No one did that for me when I started a solar company years ago. So yeah, it's a onboarding fee is very low. The monthly technology cost of software, very affordable. And if you're an enterprise, we have even solutions above and beyond this to handle any size of solar team. So
right. Exactly. And then just, you know, to give you an example, when I was an independent investment manager, my technology fee was $300 a month. It was just the cost of doing business. And on top of that, we do have an optional $35 virtual training platform, which is called Powur.live. That gives you access to additional training should you need it or want it. It's phenomenal. I'm a member of it. It gives you, we do have weekly masterminds, which help us, you know, it's motivational, it's accountability. Also gives you access to the conventions that we do twice per year. Your entrance into those conventions is included in that cost. So that's 100% optional though.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. So there you go. Enroll in Powur, become a shareholder, take control over your future. It's time to be an owner and not just an employee. It's time for you to leverage your network and stop letting some solar company leverage you and hold you down to solar minimum wage. If you're making only $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 per sale, some of these deals $50,000 to $100,000 and beyond, you have got to get this under control. We can help you get the highest commissions in the industry with, I mean, really just the best team I've ever worked with. What you're going to find is the atmosphere, the people from project managers to executives and beyond, they're happy. I've never worked with so many people who really just enjoy what they do, and words cannot express what that does to my stress level, and your customers' overall experience is going to improve greatly.
Yep. And the other thing you get out of this that you don't get anywhere else is the whole transparency issue. You know, you get to see everything, you know what's going on. Honesty, transparency is what I love about this company. So get back to the person who brought you here. And Bobby, back to you. Anything you got to say in closing?
Yes, so thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate that. One of the most exciting things about Powur is watching new people evolve onto the platform and take over these presentations and tweak their presentations as they scale their business around the country. So if you have any questions, you can certainly put them in the chat bar. This is for our guests only. I'll be talking to some of my guests afterwards. Shauna will talk afterwards. Michael will talk afterwards. But again, let's just make no mistake about it. In simplicity, we know what Powur is doing. You know, we know that solar and renewable energy are growing at a phenomenal pace. And we know that the platform economy is the future. It's what we all live every single day. There's nothing more better that you can do in business than be transparent. We show you the cost of goods. You see what everything costs, not an outdated red line model that has never worked, that has all the hidden costs in it. We show you the cost of goods. And what should get you excited here too is the more we buy, the more our costs go down. And because this is a transparent model, that means the more money that you make. Someone's asked in chat bar how long the installations take. We've been averaging right now about 46 days. The national average in solar is roughly about 60 days. Takes longer in some markets than it does in other. We've installed in a week and we've installed in 90 days out in the, in the outskirts of Colorado. It just depends where you are. Some of the people asked about lead generation too, an interesting question. If you truly understand Powur, we are the most organic lead generation program in the solar industry. Because when you become a mentor, which I hope is your goal here, now remember, we have 500 to 600, which will soon be 1,000 representatives a month paying to join our platform. The solar pros have to submit their first deal to a mentor, tier 3 seller, we call them. Every non-solar pro, the real estate agents, the finance people, the HVAC people, they've got to submit their first 3 deals to a solar pro, right? So which means we have hundreds of people join the platform every month. And they're submitting their own home, their family, their friends, their lowest hanging fruit. They've opened a business, right? And that's where your leads are coming from. Do people door knock? Of course. Do people do Facebook ads? Of course. If you're just starting in solar, you start with your own home. You start with friends and family and neighbors. Customer service, we have a robust customer service department. We have about 150 project managers speaking multiple languages behind the scenes that are managing your projects, a pre-sales department, a post-sales department. If it's a question about commissions, again, folks, we're scaling to be $1 billion company. So we have divisions and different resources for whatever it is you might need. Remember, we have a weekly newsletter. I've sent my guests that already so you can see how we communicate. We have an online Facebook group with 4,000 people on there where you can post a question anytime about anything. And the whole community chimes in. Some of the brightest solar professionals in the world chime in. Let's also remember this is a national platform. The average solar professional, again, loses $1 million, in my opinion, in their career because they can only sell locally. They can't sell their friends in Florida. They can't sell their colleagues in New Mexico. They can't sell mom and dad in New Jersey. They can't do any of that. So this gives you a much larger presence. We train everything, Safani, whoever, if I get your name right, we train everything every day. We have a resource center with thousands of documents. We do online training. We do training from our CNN-like center. We just did one a few days ago with 400 to 500 people on there in multiple languages. So again, if you're a non-solar pro, someone's going to hold your hand for your first 1, 2, 3, or even more deals. If you're a solar pro, you do one deal with one of our people just to see how the system works and get used to it. Again, we're the general contractor if you're asking online. So we're the general contractor. We are the installation company. We have partners that put the glass on the roof for us. So again, no one in our lane, no one doing what we're doing. We are staying ahead of the supply chain issues because we have money in the bank. A few months ago, we had 21 million in cash in the bank, which enabled us to buy all the panels and all the inverters that were out there on the market, batteries that we could get a hold of. We've offered warranties that no one in the industry has, 30-year bumper to bumper. We've offered financing programs. One of them we just ended, 3 years, no payments. 3 years, no payments. Last week, we did a presentation. I see you, Sean. Last week, we did a presentation on Monday night, and the 2 Bernasso brothers were on there. These are gentlemen that have each won $50,000 Teslas we gave away. One 2 years ago and one last year. Jonathan being one of the top solar pros in the United States who came over to Powur. I met him on LinkedIn. And his brother, who's never sold anything in his life, who's now built a multiple 6-figure income in Powur. And the twin brothers won twin Teslas, which is just pretty freaking cool, right? We have in June, you're going to see a national day of Powur events all through the United States at around 10 a.m. local time. There's going to be 25 events in markets all over the United States. In July, we're going to meet in Dallas, Texas for our first in-person national convention. Everyone should be there. It will be a party. Some hotels don't like our candle lighting ceremonies, but hey, what are you going to do? Next week, 2 weeks, many of us are heading to Mexico to put glass on roof for family that have no running water, that have no food, that have no energy supply. And remember, at the end of the day, that's what Powur stands for. A better future, a better world for our children and for theirs, for clean air, for clean water. Look, folks, we can't eat the fish from the water anymore. We can't, eat from the animals that are being raised, everything. I'm an organic guy. I'm a guy that eats 20 vitamins a day and tries to stay ahead of the curve, but it doesn't have to be this way. We can do better. And really that's at the essence of what Powur is about. So we thank everyone for being here tonight. I urge you to get back on the phone tonight with the person that brought you on. Take 5 minutes and enroll in our company. You'll be immediately sent to an online certification center. It's a 1 to 3 hour training course, depending on how fluent you are, how much time you want to spend. So you enroll in the company, fill out your credit card information, get everything in the system. Then you'll be taken to an online certification course, and then you'll be connected with whoever's working with you, and they will walk you through your first sales. If you want to build a team in Powur, that's completely optional. Many people just sell, but we have people that are earning up to a 6-figure a month income in overrides. A month. $1 million incomes in overrides on the teams that they're building, right? So our top markets in closing in the past have been in order, Texas. We are the #1 solar company in the state of Texas. 9% of all the solar in that state goes through our platform. And even more remarkably than that, 2% of all solar in the United States of America is now going through our platform, and no one knows who we are. 2% of all the solar in America. Remember, our partners are all the biggest companies in the industry. So we're very excited about what today, we're very excited about what's coming next. But the goal is to take action. Folks, you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, how many chances in life do you get to be in front of something like this? Something that's established, that's working. Again, look at our board. Look at Paul Winoski, who helped build Sunrun, who just invested hundreds of thousands of dollars and joined our board and brought all of his top executives with him. So we're scaling in operations, in marketing, in training. We're hiring hundreds of people. We've hired 10 executives in the last 6 months. We grew 1,500% since COVID hit. Are we learning? Yes. Are we humble? Yes. But we're doing something no one else in the world's doing, and we're doing it better than all of them are doing it. So if you missed out on investing or getting involved in Google early in the game, perhaps Tesla, perhaps Uber, Airbnb, you have a chance to get in front of what's going to happen now in renewable energy. So again, thank you for Lenny and Michael for your extraordinary effort tonight. We appreciate everything you do and what you're building in the Carolinas and throughout the United States. To all of our leaders out there, we appreciate you. To all of our guests, we thank you for being on. I'll talk to my guests in just a few moments. Take 5 minutes and become part of the future of solar and renewable energy. Thank you. Peace.